Fountain Street. Then turn right onto Mercier Street. In 800 feet, turn right onto Mercier Street. At the stop sign, turn right onto Mercier Street, then turn left onto Trenton Road. At the stop sign, turn left onto Trenton Road. In 3/4 of a mile, turn right onto Dix-Toledo Road.
Prescription. HIMS connects you to doctors online who can evaluate you and, if appropriate, prescribe your ED medication. And a pharmacy sends it right to your door. HIMS makes it affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. Now, thanks to HIMS, nobody has to. And that's really good news. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, forhims.com/joy. That's forhims.com/joy for your free online visit. forhims.com/joy.
Thinking about selling your home? Have you
At the stop sign, turn right onto Dix-Toledo Road.
Mark Z.
In 2 miles, take a slight right turn to merge onto I-75 North.
Lots to do today. We got your football covered from every angle. Harbaugh, Michigan, game canceled. 4 o'clock, allegedly. They're getting up on the dais. Oh, boy. How many questions does it take to get asked about his contract? And what will he say?
I'll set the over-under at 4.5.
How about a half?
Yeah, that's not
It's
gonna
either it has to be the first question. It has to be.
Oh, my friend, what do you want to put on that? That will not be the first question.
Well,
And that's
doing something nice for you makes me feel nice, so I wouldn't mind losing. What would you like to bet? I don't care. We'll finish some action on it. All right, you said you had numbers. What are these numbers you want?
Okay, here's the thing. Last night in going over the show, I'm coming up with different numbers, and the question just got to be, and I sent you and Hatchet the text. Why does Jim Harbaugh deserve a chance to get an extension? Give me a reason why this man actually deserves a chance, because when you look at these numbers, this is the equivalent of your best friend coming home saying, I'm about to marry a stripper. What?
She's working her way through school.
Yeah, she still got glitter all over her. This is not a good idea. Okay, we've all said ever since that J.T. Barrett game against Ohio State that Jim has changed. Ever since that game, his record has been 29 wins, 18 losses. Including in that, 0-6 versus Ohio State. It would have been 0-7, but you canceled the game. 3-3 against Michigan State. And this is Michigan State in a down period. 3-3 against Penn State, 2-3 against Wisconsin. Okay? 4-16 against top 25 teams. 2-8 while he's been at Michigan against top 10 teams. 1-4 in his bowl game. never been to the Big Ten title game. 0 skilled players drafted in the first round of the
In
NFL
1 mile,
draft.
take a slight
All
right
3
turn
of
to
your
merge
rivals
onto
have gone to the
I-75
college
North.
football playoffs since you've been at Michigan. You've gone through 5 offensive coordinators, 3 defensive coordinators. Oh, and by the way, you're negotiating a contract while you're a 30-point underdog to the Buckeyes. Why is this man, why is extension even an option? Don't get me wrong, Wolverine fans say, oh, well, you're a Spartan. I will start a Kickstarter GoFundMe right now to keep him here. I don't want him to go. I will bring back the Brian Ellerby Fund, the Tommy Amaker Fund. I don't want this man to ever leave. But the fact that he's given an option for an extension that you're waiting for him to sign, are you nuts? Seriously, this is, hey, but she's going to be a lawyer one day. No, she's going to stay a stripper all her life, okay?
David, question for you as the producer of this show. Are you looking at the show sheet?
Yes.
Why did Rico conveniently skip over the 5 notes I added to why does Harbaugh deserve an extension? I feel left out.
Okay, I'm sorry. You want me to read those?
I just felt like I'm sensing a trend. None of my things got used.
Yeah, 17, through a play sheet, 17 feet. 6, kids. The guy likes to have sex. Let me clean that one up.
I said the guy trucks. I mean, it just is what it is. It's a player.
Invented the face boner mask. He invented the face boner mask. What else did you have? Oh, 1 yellow Corvette. 1 sleepover bag with Quinn Nordine.
Use the right lane to take a slight right turn to merge onto I-75 North.
The point is they're total nonsense, which are exactly the same as the numbers.
Who's got it better than us?
Right, homeless people living on the street. The numbers you're reading are such nonsense. They are absolute cause for termination. I didn't start going in and just having some fun until the end, because when you read them all together, literally, me writing.
Use the right lane to take exit 41 onto Southfield Road at
Wow,
M39.
bring it back to the through play sheet 17 feet. It's all the same. This is, I would be offended as a Michigan fan that he is coming back.
Take the exit, then turn left onto Southfield Road toward
If the
I-94.
program has fallen to that level, and look, you have a president who doesn't.
In a quarter mile, turn left onto Southfield Road toward I-94.
This man, he is your Peter McPherson. So Schlissel's got nothing to do with this. Ward.
At the light,
I just don't
turn
think
left
Ward's
onto
doing that good.
Southfield Road toward I-94.
His choices of when to go silent and when to speak are a disaster. And you're sitting here and it's like, did he pull a switcheroo? Did he have a deal with Jim? And then when it came time to sign the deal here in the last couple weeks, he went,
In
couple edits were
6.5
made.
miles,
Had to
take exit
redline a
7
few
toward
things.
Ford Road and
Maybe.
M153.
But things have changed. Harbaugh was a complete disaster. They're going to have to gut half the staff. You lost to a terrible MSU team. You're 30-point dogs to OSU. It's been a clown car. So I guess it's almost like, Jim, if you don't want to take this new deal, does that mean you still think you're worth every penny of what you were 6 years ago? So, like,
that's why I think Jim Hackett is the guy who pulled off the impossible. He was the athletic director that got Jim Harbaugh here. Harbaugh was Project Unicorn. That was the code name for him, Mike, so that people in the know would know who it was. Warde Manuel doesn't want to be the guy who fired Jim Harbaugh. Why? Because it goes back to what I'm saying, and it can only be the only reason. Because Harbaugh was Bo's quarterback. That's why you can't. If this guy was there, anything else. So he gave him a contract. Hold on, Mike. He gave him a contract that it's almost insulting, but at least I can say I tried. And it wasn't even a half-ass try. It was a quarter-ass try. Here you go. Let's hope that you turn this down, but I'm never going to be the villain, and I'll be okay with that.
Go ahead. And there's a second part. No, and I'm glad, and shame on me for trying to jump in there. The point is, there's a second reason. You're either too scared to let go of Harbaugh because you don't want to be the bad guy, or you're afraid of a coaching search. You're afraid that you can't come up with a better solution. And if that's the case, why don't we extend the question to Mr. Ward Smitherman Manuel, whose contract is up soon? Why are you here? Your job is you are the CEO. You are the caretaker of Michigan football. That is $100 million company. If you don't think you're up to the task, or you're afraid of hurting somebody's feelings, this ain't the job for you. Like, I mean, Rico, I'm not being smarmy at all. Like, I don't find it acceptable when people in a leadership position go, hey, listen, we're afraid to fire Bob because I don't know that the next guy will be any better. That's not how companies run. I know it's not getting done with Bob. I have to spin the wheel. And my credibility as a leader, as a CEO, in a management position will be largely determined by who I come up with when I spin the wheel. I do not accept the idea that they don't see anybody better out there. That means you're not trying. That means you're lazy or you're scared. And either way, you shouldn't be the AD. The fact that this is a discussion right now, to me, is already cause to question Ward Manuel. I want to hear about the pandemic. It's not news that Jim Harbaugh's deal was an issue. I was talking about it while I was still getting on airplanes. I was bringing it up in January, before the world ended. You have had 10 months to come up with a reasonable solution to this, to come to a reasonable conclusion for this. 10 months. And we are sitting here, and Santa's about to shove his ass down chimneys, and you don't have a solution yet? Now, maybe they pulled this out of their ass today, and they announced at 4 Jim's coming back. But I haven't heard a soul intimate that today. It's just, Rico, it's insane to me, because then the reality sets in. There's really no reason to bring him back. And if you bring him back, let's say today, Michigan fan, I know you don't want to have this conversation. It's like talking about your parents' possible divorce. I know it's hard for you. But look, even if they announce today at 4, we're bringing Jim back on a 3-year deal, you know it's going to be Michigan friendly. You know the buyout will be reduced. You know that it'll really be a dressed-up 1-year deal, which means you didn't solve anything. Which means next year will be like this year, and you will be negatively recruited. You will be gossiped about. You will be rumored about. It's not good for the program's health. So I say it to back Rico's research, which was outstanding.
Is it really negative recruiting though when you just hold up the piece of paper with the record? That's not facts. It ain't negative recruiting. That's facts.
So if I was recruiting for Penn State and I walked in and I said, yeah, well, at least our coach doesn't wear a face bone. Is that negative recruiting?
That's negative. Yes. The numbers, that's negative.
Okay.
And here's something that I heard before. Chris just sent me a message and said he can't call in, but the higher-ups could care less about wins and losses. Harbaugh brings in revenue. Old boosters, donors, sponsors love Jimmy because he can take them down memory lane with both stories. He brings in
I can't do this anymore with this program. Oh my God. Are you serious with that text there? Are you serious?
yes.
Was that Ben Roethlisberger? I thought that was a drop.
That's them using it in two.
I just said that's me losing my mind right now.
David, as we go to break, I want you to think of one question.
curbside carryout, dining, and delivery via DoorDash. Download Buddy's Pizza mobile app to earn rewards.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff. What? Still no jobs? Well, we really have both. See,
In
stuff
1.4
defined as
miles,
household
take a
articles
slight right
considered
turn onto
goods.
Edward and
Sometimes
Hines
this
Drive.
stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover
In 1 mile,
guitar from your
take a slight right turn onto Edward and Hines Drive.
Stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
The Detroit Pistons host the New York Knicks in a preseason contest. Pre-game Friday night at 6:35 on 97.1 The Ticket.
I mean, in my opinion, it should be done. In their opinion, right now, there's a lot of reporting out of Detroit that the athletic director in Harbaugh are trying to work out some deal to lessen his contract and lessen the buyout going into the final year. Grady, that's a waste of time.
Oh, that a baby, Paul. Way to lay it down. Let's go to the people. But not before we check with the wicked
Use
rich
the
of
right
the
lane
West.
to take a slight
Cancel
right turn
on the
onto
ticket
Edward and
text.
Hines
Yes,
Drive.
baby.
Oh my gosh. Ticket text.
You are rattled.
I'm a Penn State grad, but I love Michigan and grew up going to the games with my dad. I wanted to see Ohio State hang a 50 burger on Michigan and end this Harbaugh fraud era. From Matt in Vegas.
Yeah, but Matt, that's the other thing, and people get all
Take
they
a
clutch
slight
their
right
pearls
turn.
when you talk about it. But I don't need the number dressed up. If you tell me you've got X amount of players who have
In
COVID and can't
4.3
play, that's
miles,
one thing.
take a slight
But
right
why
turn
is
onto
it
Inkster
at
Road?
least 45 with COVID plus contact tracing plus injuries? Nobody's ever canceled a football game because of injury. I don't need it. You don't need to dress your number up. See, everything the school's doing is to try to convince you that the evil people like Herb Street aren't right. And the more convincing you try to do, the less people believe you. So that was the issue when I did the show last week with you, Reek. And I said, look, if I'm Ward Manuel and what Herb Street said was completely absurd, I don't dignify it. Instead, he came out like Action Jackson with a flamethrower, shout out Carl Weathers, and just blowtorched Herbie with a Braveheart speech. And I'm like, oh boy, that must have touched a nerve. And it's the same thing, oh, we're gonna try to play with, and you're out doing summer conditioning. No, you're not. This is window dressing. You don't want to play. You're not serious about playing. You don't want that heat. You don't want it.
They don't want the smoke.
Plus, here's the other thing. Rico, do you have any faith they will play next week in the crossover game?
This is going to sound like it's so It depends on who the opponent is.
Okay, I'll do you one better. Here, I'll be Mr. Anti. They could play Orchard Lake St. Mary's. They won't play the game. They don't want to take the field. They don't want to do it. Because no matter who they play, they're going to get beat. It's going to cause a bigger problem. And it's going to make harder. Either you've extended Harbaugh and then you lose, or you lose and then you go to extend Harbaugh.
So if that's the case, why not just shut down the program and say, we're just done for the year? We're not playing anything else.
They kind of have. If you really think about it, Rico, the minute they had a COVID outbreak, the conversation wasn't about Maryland. It was about Ohio State. And depending who you talk to around the program, there are some people who believe they will not take the field the rest of this year.
See, I think they'll take the field. If somehow the Big Ten said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to rearrange the schedule. Minnesota, Wisconsin, you continue your rivalry. And Michigan, Ohio State, you can continue yours in the Week 9 crossover game. Yeah, we still sick. Now, if they said, oh, okay, well, you guys are going to play Illinois. Oh, yeah, we're okay. Illinois? Okay, yeah, we can do that. That's fine. They will play that game, right? Because they don't want to end their season at a loss. So, yeah. But they want none of that OSU smoke. None.
Let's go to Dean Milford, 97.1. What's up, Dino?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
Good, dude.
So-
What's up?
So don't need to give someone time when you can see they're so completely inept. I watched that HBO special on the University of Michigan. Every time that dude talks, every single person in that room looked like speaking Japanese, and they had no idea what was going on. And I can only assume that hasn't changed. He does not know what he's doing, and so that's feeding to the players because I don't think that he's a leader. And if they give him an extension, it's
I think it's crazy. I think at best, Dean, and Dean, it's nice to hear from you. I know it'd been a minute. I know you called several times during the pandemic. Dino, look, man, at best, they're kicking the can down the road a year. That's the best case scenario.
Why?
I have no idea. I have no clue.
Here's my favorite response from some Michigan fans, and I am a Michigan fan. Well, what's better? Everything. You already know that this is broken. If your car's got a flat tire, you don't keep driving on the flat tire because you don't know where a new one is. You go look. You fix it.
Yeah,
and
like
then
the
if
first
that breaks
sign.
down, you get another one.
The first sign, and I appreciate it, the first sign that you shouldn't extend your coach is when your rivals want you to. Yeah. That's the keynote right there. When the people who hate you most want you to keep your coach. Like, Rico and I as Spartans should not be on the air saying we want you to extend Harbaugh. Make no mistake about it. I want you to keep him. But I'm telling you, you shouldn't. Think about that.
Mike, I'm thinking.
You know, if it was up to me, I would drop an atom bomb on Michigan football. I would vaporize
If
them.
this happens, hold on, Hatchet, if this happens, Mike, and they extend Harbaugh, you can go ahead and prepare another Manhattan. There may be another toast.
See, and that's the thing. Let me
In
bring
1 mile,
let me
take a
bring
slight
people
right
in
turn
the
onto
inside.
Inkster Road.
I'm going to be dressed like Hammer in the Pumps in a Bump video.
Exactly. Right. Whoa. What you two are saying is what I was getting in text messages on Saturday and on Sunday regarding the contract extension. You all celebrating. I don't want that anymore, okay? They're celebrating bringing Harbaugh back. That's a problem, Michigan.
And Davis, right. The thing was, I was really trying to find reasons why he's getting an extension. And I had to be honest with you, the people. I can't lie to you. There is, if his name was Jack Thompson, he would not be given a 7th year. He would have been fired. How do I know this? You fired Rich Rodriguez, and he actually got better every year. But he didn't get better fast enough, and you cut him loose after 3. You got rid of Brady Hoke, who was Mr. Mediocre. You got rid of him. This guy, for you to say, well, he's won 10 wins 3 times. Great. What did you get for those 10 wins? Nothing. Let's check the other problems. The other problem is
he has to rebuild this thing, and yet you're not going to give him the situation to rebuild it. You don't have the patience for another 2 or 3 years.
Take a slight right turn onto
maybe
Inkster
the
Road,
most sobering
then turn
thought
right.
for you, David, and for other Michigan fans out there. If given the 3-year extension to add on to his final year, how many times do you defeat OSU in the next 4 years?
I mean, just so I don't sound like a jerk, I could say once.
I say none.
At the
Okay,
light,
you're
turn
not.
right onto Inkster Road.
I don't think he's the guy to close the gap. And frankly, he has. It's this whole idea of, well, doesn't he deserve a chance to fix it? Nah, it's 7 years deep.
No, he doesn't. I feel like
No.
crying right now. This is
I mean, I'm looking at the people that
In
Ohio
3/4
State
of
are
a
bringing
mile,
in there.
turn
Marvin
right onto
Harrison
Westfield
Jr.
Avenue.
Didn't realize I was that old, but yeah, that's going to be their latest star receiver when Chris Olave leaves.
yes.
Yeah. Good luck with that. The gap is just gotten wider and wider, and you're not getting any closer. This, trust me, Mike, fire up the Manhattans. Get the cherries ready. We're doing this.
Man. Let me add some sizzle to the program, because we're going to get to the people. We got Dave Burkett coming up at 3:15. Why? Well, Dave was stirring the chili yesterday, but I have a question I have to ask him, and I'm going to ask Rico at first. Who do you trust more? I'm going to set up 2 situations. Mix this in for the people who are interested in Lions GM talk. And yes, we are going to try to carry this thing at 4 o'clock with Ward and Jim and the doctors talking that talk. Lots to do today. 97.1.
This holiday season, give the gift of Spectrum Mobile. Get our Buy the Gig data plan plus a new
Samsung smartphone for as little as $19 per month, or choose our unlimited data plan. Spectrum
Turn right
Mobile gives you
onto
the
Westfield
flexibility to
Avenue.
mix and match plans to meet your family's needs. All plans include free nationwide talk and text with no added taxes and fees, plus no contracts. Call 877-959-1737 or visit a Spectrum
In a
store
quarter
near
mile,
you.
turn left
Spectrum
onto
Internet required.
Columbia.
Equipment taxes separate. Restrictions apply. Visit SpectrumMobile.com for details.
From the depths of winter to cookouts in summer, natural gas is your safe, reliable, affordable energy source. Because DTE buys gas in the summer when prices are low and stores it to keep prices affordable. And we upgrade and monitor the system 24/7, 365. So for all you do, natural gas is there for you. Learn more at dteenergy.com. DTE. For all the dinners cooked,
Something smells good.
for all the clothes dried, for all the
Turn
hot
left onto
showers,
Columbia. Then the
there's
destination is on
safe,
your left.
reliable natural gas from DTE. We keep gas safe by constantly inspecting, upgrading, and monitoring our lines 24/7, 365. So for
The
all you
destination
do,
is on your
natural
left.
gas is there for you.
9327 Columbia.
Find out more at dteenergy.com. DTE. With no fees